This is day 17 of documenting my journey as a founder building an 8-figure business from freaking paradise. Man, this is absolutely crazy. Also, if you for some reason came across this public diary that I'm running, you would have realized that I'm recording this on the same day because consistency with this public diary has been difficult because I'm trying not to shoot it in my house. I want to come out, and it's kind of a good excuse also to be out here enjoying where I live and just taking some fresh air because I spend all my day inside an office. But it's been proving to be difficult to keep the consistency while also doing work and life and all this stuff. So I'm gonna have to refine my system to get it done. But I do what I say I do, so I'm getting it done. I'm here recording the 3 days that I missed. And what I wanted to show or talk about today was a failure that I had. And one thing that I also realized recently is that even though I don't care the word failure, turns out people in my team does care about the word failure. So I'm taking that feedback on board, and I'm trying not to reframe or frame things on the failure side of things because I see it as a positive. I see failing as a positive thing. We should be failing, but failing forward, right? Moving still in the right direction and failing and falling and whatnot, but getting back up and continue to go. Whereas for some people, failure is a bit too harsh. It's like, oh, you failed. So yeah, they just take it too harsh. So essentially, uh, we are trying to frame this, testing something different to see how it goes. Not so much as a failure, but what's the biggest opportunity for improvement? That's how we're framing it now when it comes to assessing the failures of the team. They're not being addressed as a failure, but as opportunities for improvement to see how that is being taken, how that now uh, impacts the behavior and the acceptance of the team regarding opportunities for improvement. Sounds like a super soft way of saying you fail, but this is one thing that you start realizing as you scale a team and you just start working with more humans. All of them are different. And if you want to build a great company, that means that you need a great team, essentially. And that means that you're going to have to understand that you're working with different personalities, different people, different desires, different fears, different everything. So it's just part of the game. That one has taken me a while to actually really cater to. And I think I still need to do a much better job as a leader and founder on that side of just understanding the person that I'm dealing with on the other side and try not to uh, direct to them the way I will direct to myself or other team members that I know can take it a bit more harsher and more not harsher, not necessarily harsh, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to reduce the time that it takes for them to improve or learn or apply something that I'm telling them that they need to do, because I already maybe have the answer or the information and whatnot. And this blogging thing, it gets pretty exhausting. I'm definitely gonna be getting a different camera for these vlogs because this one does get quite heavy, even though it's just my phone. It's just that the way that it's mounted, it's a bit heavy. This vlogging lifestyle, it is pretty hard. So one thing that happened was we failed, basically, one of our podcast licensees. And man, I hate this shit. I hate when we fail or let down one of our clients. These guys when we took them on, it was pretty cool. They had a great experience, by the way. They're pretty happy with everything. But essentially, what happens is when we get a licensee, we do all the installation of our podcast systems. We place a video editor, a social media manager, and the idea is that by the end of them, over 2 months, using the podcast system, having the video editor, social media manager, that they continue to work with us for a very long time. Um, First, through the team that we're providing for them, we do get, it's not a huge thing, but we do obviously make a little bit of money on the team that we provide for them if they continue to use them, because we act as the middleman. But the actual money opportunity for us is on the consulting side of things, for them to signing up for a consulting for an extended period. That's where the real opportunity is for continuity of that offer. And we've been just improving her podcast system license. That's the thing that we've been trying to focus on this year. It has been difficult because we're trying to make the license better while at the same time making the done for you side of things better, while at the same time serving the licenses, while at the same time serving our done for you clients. So it is quite difficult to get all of that right. So if you're trying to do different offers, even though they might be fairly the same and on paper might look like, oh, it's not gonna be that hard, is never that easy. Okay. That's one thing that I heavily underestimated. I really thought that, oh, the license is gonna be so much easier to do because we're already doing that for done for you clients. So all we have to do is to now pass all those systems to them. But it's never that fucking easy, okay? So if you're thinking of doing something similar, the licensing of your services and whatnot, just know that it's not going to be as easy as you think it's going to be, okay? That has been in the building for over a year now. It's been actually about year and a half, or maybe a little bit more than that. So granted, I could have done it faster if I would have pulled back on some of the done for you clients. If I wouldn't have gotten distracted with some opportunities that presented along the way. So I could have also helped myself by putting the focus on it purely and just cut a few of the things that we basically put on our plate for no good reason. Now, obviously the reason is always something attached to financial returns or money, but in most cases those opportunities that I put my time into and that my team put their time into, it wasn't a big enough payoff, or it was a big payoff on that day, but in the long term it hurt us more than it benefited us, because the real opportunity for us right now is our licensing. That's how we can probably get to 8 figures. That's what it looks like. That are numbers. That's our fastest vehicle to get to 8 figures, which is our current goal as a business. So any other actions or deals that we're trying to do, if they're not being a faster vehicle to help us get to the 8 figures, they're a fucking distraction and a stupid use of time and resources. So that's what has happened. We took some projects that on paper, they seem great, they seem like decent money and whatnot. Some of them even 100K plus, but in the long term, that cost us $1 million per month that we could have been making from our license. If everything goes exactly to plan as we think. So that's one of the biggest lessons I've taken this year, is the vehicle is everything. The model that you're using for scaling. And you need to determine, according to your goals, if your current vehicle or model can help you get to where you're trying to go. Because making $100,000 is completely different to making $1 million, and that's completely different to making $10 million, and so on and so on. So for us, we are on the journey of making $1 million months right now, and the vehicle that we had wasn't the right vehicle. So we had to do a lot of changes this year. And I'm seeing how all those changes are actually setting us up. I can have almost like this sense and this vision of, yeah, we're making a lot of great moves right now that are gonna make the new year fucking gigantic. And yeah, I'm getting off track here. Like I was talking about the failure, but I got too excited thinking about the future. So yeah, essentially, as I was saying before, the podcast licensee, the idea is that they stay with the video editor and social media manager, and hopefully also sign on top of that to the consulting. Well, these guys didn't sign up for the consulting, which we kind of knew that, hey, they're a bit too small, the business, to also being able to allocate the money for the consulting on top of that. But we were totally confident like these guys are gonna stay with the video editor and social media manager, and they were seeing good results, good stuff. But eventually, yeah, they just stopped doing successful actions, and people just get so much in their own way, and they just started. They started to deprioritize their own marketing, which is what happens to a lot of businesses. Basically, they got to the time of the year where they get busy because their business is very seasonal, and they just told us like, hey guys, we need to post the video editor and social media manager for a few months, and we try to educate them on like, guys, this is so stupid. You should not stop marketing because you're gonna get busy, and then you're not gonna be busy, and you're not gonna have a pipeline, you're not gonna have people, you're not gonna have been doing marketing to get the next deals coming through the line. So this is stupid.